Today, we've got a great speaker. Many of you will remember this organization from a couple of years ago, but Manatee PAL has got some huge things on the horizon. Mr. Bruce Bottorff will be going over that. He's the president of PPT Florida and Manatee PAL board chair. I've known Bruce from the, we were just talking about it, from the PAL golf tournament that he always puts on out there, does a fantastic job. But I don't know how you can have a regular job with everything that you're doing for PAL, because you're out there doing this every single day. You know, I don't know how you do it. But Bruce, why don't you make your way up here to the stage today? We do have new buildings on the horizon. You will probably remember this presentation from a couple years ago, but it's coming along, and I'm excited to see it. I know everybody keeps asking me, Mike, what are you going to do to help out this this new facility up there? Bruce, take it away. That's all I got for you today.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir.
Well, good afternoon. Everybody hear me okay? I may have to walk around a little bit and talk because I'm an engineer. I'm certainly not a spokesperson for anything, and I'm certainly not a lecturer. If I could have a voiceover, hopefully the pastor would come up and do a voiceover because his voice was amazing. Mine may be a little, squeaky, this and that, but yours was fantastic. I wish I had that. I may be in a different employment if I had some voice like that. But thank you for having me. I appreciate that. Let me give you a little bit background about myself. They did tell me that I had about 20, 25 minutes. While there's a lot of things I can do for 20, 25 minutes, I'm certainly not going to be able to talk for 20 to 25 minutes. So you all can just rest assured that you're not going to have to be up here listening to me. I think that's what I got here. Let's go back. Okay, cool. First time using this, so bear with me. Let me start the timer and make sure that I don't overrun. So my background, I'm a soda boy. So I was born and raised in Sarasota. When Sarasota Memorial, if anybody has been here long enough, it was certainly not what it is now. It was like a 3-story building, and it was probably maybe 80,000 square feet, maybe at the most. I graduated from Riverview High School, same high school my mother did back in the early 60s. Hopefully she doesn't hear that and come up here and smack me. But we are, I have a long-standing time here. I love to be up in Manatee County. I've been up here now since 2003. And before that, I was up in Tampa and around places. But the reason I got involved with Manatee PAL was in my background. When I was growing up, I played Ringling Redskins football. For those of you that have been here long enough, that was pretty much the only place you could play football if you want to play really good football. And with that, all of my coaches came out of Sarasota, Manatee County. They were police officers. And while they didn't really have the organization as we know of PAL today, back then, they were all police officers, and we learned a great deal of not only football, but we learned a great deal about respect, commitment, taking responsibility for our actions, and just being good stewards in the community. And when I moved into Manatee County in the early 2000s, I was working here, making money, doing the work that I do with my company. And I was approached by John Fitzgerald Sr., and he was the president of Manatee PAL at the time. And this was 2011, and he asked me to come take a look at Manatee PAL, see what it's all about, and see if I'd be interested in becoming a board member. It took one meeting and one group outing, and I was hooked. And so I've been involved since really 2012. I've been the chair of Manatee PAL since 2016, so almost 10 years now. And I can tell you two things. Outside of my son being born and meeting my soulmate through Manatee PAL, this organization has been something that's carried me through good times, bad times, but drives me to do the things that I do today. It's really that important. And our mission and what we do, and I may jump around in some of these slides, so I apologize again. I'm not a professional speaker. I just, shoot from the hip, and I want to talk to the audience and be engaging, is that, our mission is just like the Kiwanis mission. It's all about kids. And, we're where the rubber meets the road, and we get these kids in every day, and they come in all walks of life. I mean, when I grew up and I was a kid, I didn't know my parents lived paycheck to paycheck. I could care less. All I cared about was, hey, not getting in trouble at school, okay, not getting in trouble from grandpa, and being able to play sports when I wanted to play sports. That was, at, a young man, age 8 to, 14, that's all I cared about. And the kids that we have in our programs, they're a lot the same way. They come from all walks of life. Mainly we pull from areas that are, economically distressed for the most part. We pull from, central Bradenton. We pull from basically west of 75, east of 75th Street, up into Palmetto area, and down to probably like State Road 70, 53rd Street, for lack of a better term. That's the area we pull from. And those are the kids that we want to get into the programs, and we want to devote our time and our effort in developing those kids. So let's talk about why I'm here talking to you. Like anything else, we can't do what we do at Manatee PAL without volunteers and without money. And I know that Kiwanis and your group, maybe each and every one of you individually or as a group, you get solicited all the time. And I am up here today, part of that solicitation, to ask for some help, to ask your help in not only looking at what we do, but spreading the word of what we do and how we do it and our successes that we do have. So let's talk a little bit about that. Our motto, what we talk about, Manatee PAL started Charlie Wells, Sheriff Charlie Wells, if you remember that, back in the late 90s. That's when Manatee PAL was established. So we've been established less than 30 years, over 25, a little less than 30 years. And, like I said, our motto, putting kids first, and that's truly it. We dedicate our time and our efforts and our dollars, a lot of our personal money, in helping these kids. And we bring these kids together in what's always helped me in my life through the power of sports. Sports, it transcends the economical, topography. Whether you have money, whether you don't have money, whether you can do things, whether you can't do things. Sports is, in my opinion, that's where we can gather our kids. That's where we get the kids to buy into our program. And with that, we end up tightening the bond between the kids and the police officers. Because in a lot of areas, and you see it around the country in the political climate that we're in, sometimes it seems like the authoritative figures, they get a bad rap. They're just trying to do their jobs. And what we want to teach our kids is that we're just people too. We have one of those with us that's been intricately involved in Manatee PAL for several decades. And he's definitely besides my wife, he's definitely one of the reasons why I'm here. And that's Deputy Ralph Bryant back here in the corner. Can you stand up for me? I know he don't. He's like, oh, don't let me. So he's certainly one of the big reasons why I'm here. And he's a great proponent of Manatee PAL. Now, our mission, as it says in here, to educate our kids in both health and academia through sports and mentorship. And that's important. Health and academia. We want our kids to be healthy, and we want our kids to be athletic in the sense of get out there and do things. Okay? Don't sit behind the computer or now, the phones and the iPads, right? Get away from that. Have interaction. Have this. Because there's not enough of that these days. I have a 13-year-old son, and believe me, I know. He spends more time doing this and less time using his mouth and less time communicating and things. And so that's what we try to do as well, is our mission as we go through is help develop these kids. Because at some point in time, as we all get older, unfortunately we do, and certainly for me as I get older, we need to have people that are going to run our communities for us and help support us as we did them when we were that age. And if we don't provide that and we don't foster that, then our community is going to peril. It's just going to go away. There are going to be lots of problems. And again, I'm an engineer. I'm not going to economics. I'm not in the economics, whatever you want to. I can't even speak sometimes. But you know, the whole point that I'm trying to make is it's important to not only raise our kids the right way, show them that they have a value in our community, but also teach them what that's going to be. So as they get older, they take the reins from us, and we can sit back and enjoy our golden years and see the fruits of our labor. That type of deal. So basically what I'm trying to say is the goal is really to produce the next generation of leaders and successful business owners within our community. We want to give them rein to go out and see the world, but at some point in time, we'd love to have them come back and be the leaders and run our communities for us. So that's the next slide. Boom. So let's talk a little bit about our PAL programs. Sports. So before I get into these details, one of the reasons why I'm here, the main reason, is to tell you a little bit about our project and our home. For decades, we were right over at 13th and 1st Street, okay? 13th Avenue East and 1st Street. That had been our home for decades. That is no longer our home. Team Success has now have that, the entire property. And there's an investment group with Team Success that they're going to do, hopefully, some great things with that piece of property. We are, as I told somebody earlier, we're kind of nomads right now. We really don't have a home. We do have a corporate office at the sheriff's office, but we're playing our sports at various venues. So our basketball is currently, we did make a very good investment in the Boys and Girls Clubs, both DeSoto and Palmetto. And so our basketball is being played this year and next year between those two facilities. It's a great partnership. It's fantastic. We love it. Football, flag football is being played locally at various venues. Baseball as well is being played at various venues as well. But we're looking for a home. We're looking for a permanent home. And just recently, Mayor Brown, through the city of Bradenton, reached out to us and says he's got a solution for us. And that solution was part of the Bradenton City Park development. And for those of you that have some idea of what that is, back over here, over by where the Pittsburgh Pirates, Lecom Park, that whole area is looking to be revamped into a sports complex. Okay, that whole entire block, pretty much from 17th Street down to 13th Street, and then from 1st Street over to 9th Street. That whole block. And major things are happening. One of the first things is that the city promised PAL that they would give us a pad-ready site for a new facility for us. And what you'll see in some of these pictures here is exactly what that is. That's going to help promote our sports, indoor basketball and volleyball. For those that have any either daughters or granddaughters or people that you know that play volleyball, there's not very many indoor volleyball facilities around, especially for middle schools and for clubs. And then outdoor, football, soccer, lacrosse, and baseball. All of those different things. We as Manatee PAL, one of the things that we decided to do a couple years ago was that, and it was not easy for me because I played football all 4 years up in college. And banged a lot of heads in my lifetime. And I started at a very young age, at 9 years old. The data that we've been looking at, because as technology improves, we get better data. We get more of it that can come to us. We as a board decided that we're going to get out of the tackle contact football business for our kids up to 14 years of age. After 14 years of age, they're usually going off to high school, and the data that we've been made aware of and that we've researched, and I personally researched, shows that kids that are under 14 years old, their brains are developing faster than what we could understand, and repetitive head strikes is just not good for our kids. Again, I love football, played it my whole life. It made me who I am today. One of the people that I am today is because of football. It gave me a lot of opportunities. And it was a difficult decision to make, but we're out of that. We're playing flag football. So we're promoting flag football big time. And the important thing to note is that There's no flag football for our kids that from west of 75, east of 75th Street, into Palmetto, down to 53rd Street. There's no flag football for our kids here. If they want to play flag football, they have to go out to Lakewood Ranch or out to Premier. And they're paying $250 a kid. Per season, there could be 3 seasons in a year's time. I mean, our kids can't afford that. So we offer free flag football for girls all the way through high school, 12th grade. And we're hoping that that'll catch on, because we didn't have much catching on last year, so we didn't have a girls' flag football. We did have boys' flag football, and we participated in several leagues. And Deputy Ralph Bryant just started our NFL Flag Football League here this past season, and it was very successful, and we're going to be moving that forward. $25 a kid, period. $25 a kid, and versus $250 a kid. But that doesn't come free, obviously. It comes from a lot of donors and comes from a lot of things. But anyway, so our new facility that we're looking for that's going to certainly help us with our outdoor activities as well as our indoor activities. And we'll talk a little bit more about basketball, which is really our flag athletic program for Manatee PAL. Education. I did talk about earlier a little bit about sports and health and education. Education is extremely important. You can't have that without having a healthy body and sports, being involved in sports. So what we're doing within Manatee PAL is that we're going to be, in this new facility, we're going to be initiating our early learning, and we're going to be working with SOAR and 4. I don't know if anybody in here has heard of SOAR and 4. They do have the new program down south. Is that the old, by Doherty Elementary? I can't remember. I don't know if Chuck, if you can help me, I'm not sure. Anyway, but they have a SOAR and 4 program down there, but there's nothing.
You're correct.
Thank you, sir. There's nothing up in this area for these kids. And for the kids to try to drive all the way down there for the SOAR and 4 program, it's not easy. And what we find at PAL, that older brother, older sister that's participating in any type of sport or cheerleading, et cetera, that they're toting along their younger brother or sister, okay? And if they're toting them along, they may not be playing in the sport, but they're just kind of hanging out playing while big brother, big sister is playing the sports, okay, or participating either in games or practices. We want to take advantage of that opportunity, and we want to bring those younger kids in and bring them in the SOAR and 4, and we plan on using SOAR and 4 in our new facility, as well as, with that, having adult education. So when I mentioned about where our new facility is going to be, where the plan's going to be, right there on 13th, just west of First Street, that's Rogers Gardens. Well, there's an elementary school right next door. So we're hoping that as parents may drop their kids off at the elementary school, they can come right next door during the day and get free adult education classes to help them promote their education, as well as life skills and tutoring during the day. Because most of our sports at Manatee PAL happen from the hours of 3 in the afternoon, right after school ends, till about 9 o'clock in the evening, which leaves our facility pretty much empty from 8 a.m. from the morning time until the early afternoon. So it makes it very advantageous to take advantage of that and being able to bring some of these programs in. Again, it's Manatee PAL that we're going to be driving these programs. We don't have expertise in it, but you know what? We're going to do it because it's the right thing to do and it's what our community needs. And that's what this facility is going to be all about. The tutoring life skills. I look around, and please, no disrespect, but most of you, we're in our older years and not in our younger years, We're not in our 20s. We're not in our 20s anymore, unfortunately. But if you remember back going to high school, we had life skills teaching. Home economics, right? We had shop, we had other things. You don't find that in the schools today. You just don't. Okay? Kids, what do you mean checkbook? What do you mean I got to balance this? What do you mean I got a budget, Money, don't I just, don't you just hand it to me, Dad, and I got money? That's how it works? No, that's not how it works. So besides our sports, besides early learning, besides the adult education, what we're doing with our kids is everyone that's in our PAL program And our goal, ultimately, they're all free. When our $25 flag football, we want to take that down to zero. We want to provide every single student athlete that comes in from the age of 5 to the age of 16 free sports, and all they have to do is give us 1 to 2 hours a week so they can attend tutoring and life skills that we will be providing through folks donating their time, retirees, educators, engineers. I have 15 buddies of mine that are all engineers in all different aspects that say, absolutely, would love to be able to tutor. Now, we may have a little tough avenue in English when we're, engineers are teaching people English and, punctuation and things of that nature. That's a little tough sometimes. But, we can certainly give them, science, math, etc. So, and we want to stick to those reading, writing, arithmetics. And then we want to teach these kids the value of doing their own research. Okay? Too many times, wow, 19 minutes. Too many times, you find all our kids, you find everybody with these things right here. And, there's algorithms. I'm an engineer, develop algorithms. I do all kinds of stuff. There's algorithms that, once the phone starts, following you, know what you're doing, et cetera, what you like to see, it's going to keep sending you the same kind of stuff. So what ends up happening is we're all products of it. We get what we want to see versus getting what we need to see. And so it's important that we also, in these educational studies that we'll provide, that we instruct these kids, our kids, on how to do their own research, how to figure out what's true and what's not true. Look at everything. Look at both sides. Like I said, I was born and raised in Sarasota, Florida. I knew nothing but the SEC growing up. I went to one of the most liberal arts schools, Yale University, in the world. And it certainly opened my eyes. I saw all kinds, okay? I saw all kinds of things. And it was very important in that aspect because it gave me a very good foundation of saying, you know what? All opinions need to be heard. You need to look at everything, and then you take everything that you've learned in your life, and then you filter all that in, and you see what's the most important to you, and that's what you follow. But the main point is that do what's right. As Roulette, Roulette always says, and my son goes to Roulette, it's been fantastic for him, is the true meaning of character is doing the right thing when no one's watching. When no one's watching. You gotta get up, and I always tell my son, you get up in the morning, look in the mirror, you gotta like what you see. Okay, you gotta like the person that you're being. And it's just not all about you. Sometimes you have to make a decision that's not the best for you, but it's the best decision to make. So those are the type of things that we want to teach our kids. And those are the things not only in sports that, hey, yeah, you want to win, you want to do this and that, but you want to win right. I mean, you don't cheat. You work hard because there's no substitute for hard work, right? There's absolutely no substitute for hard work. And typically, if you think you're going to get something for nothing, what you're going to get is probably not worth it. All right, let's see here. I'll get off the soapbox. Here's some interesting numbers that we put together. So our sports and education numbers, we have over 500 children right now that we work with, as well as adults in our programs. And with that, 80,000 athlete hours a year, 80,000 athletic hours a year through our programs. And then, most importantly, more than 31,000 volunteer hours a year. So we have a great deal of volunteers, parents, business people, et cetera. Mr. Tom's back there. He's been involved with Manatee PAL for years as an in-house basketball coach. Fantastic. It's amazing. He can take these kids that seem like they're very uncoordinated and they're all over the place, and he teaches them how to play together and how they can beat teams that are much more athletic and much bigger and stronger just because they're playing together. It's amazing what he does. Fantastic for you, Tom. I appreciate you more than you know. All right. So funding, get to the real meat and potatoes because I got 2.5 minutes. Wow, I can't believe I talked this long. Our facility is $14.5 million is what we're raising right now to build our facility. The beautiful part about that is going to help us do everything that I talked about today. And what's happened is that the sheriff, current sheriff, Ricky Wells, He's committed that he will be paying for all of our expenses. So once we build this facility, our organization has zero expense. Every bit of the expense is going to be paid out of the sheriff's office budget. So all we have to do, I know it's all we have to do is come up with $14.5 million. Yeah, just, hey, boom, it's there, right? No, we get this, we build it, and like the Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. There's going to be so many opportunities, not only for our kids, but for other school systems within our community. A lot of the middle schools that don't have sports facilities, that they have to go elsewhere, it's going to be a central part for them to come in and play. And like anything else, the more activity you have around a facility, the more interest it comes in. More people, hey, what's going on over there? Hey, what's happening here? Also, it's going to help us bring in volleyball tournaments, basketball tournaments, other things to bring things back into our community, bring people from the outside that haven't visited it here and say, well, wow, y'all really got a great thing going on here. Maybe we need to look about coming in. How do we get involved? How do we come? And it just makes us so much stronger. All right. I do have some pictures. So some poster boards that are up around here, but where you can see right now on the left-hand side of this one that I have up, that's the current vacant property next to Rogers. Rogers Elementary is just to the left. And you'll see on the right side, that's the new facility that we're looking at building, or we will be building. And the nice thing is we're going to be using all local people, NDC, PBK out of Sarasota. We're not going to bring anybody from the outside. We want to all do this together from folks within our community to make this happen. So that's an aerial view. And then this is a view. Right now we're on 13th, looking kind of to the southeast of the front of the building. This is the rear of the building, where we'll have a multi-purpose field here that's going to be turf. For all of the different outdoor sports, as well as we're going to be able to have a walk-around area for our Soar and 4, kind of what they do over at the Lincoln Park area, where they walk around and they'll have multi-bilingual pedestals with different storyboards for people to walk around, read, help parents and help kids together. And then we'll have a little playground over to the east side of this building. And then just a few other pictures here of what's going inside. The nice thing about this is that we're going to have a great industrial concession stand, and it's going to teach our kids volunteer time, efforts and different things, etc. And then we also have about 3,000 square feet between office and conference rooms to be able to have our life skills in tutoring sessions and our adult education, things of that nature. So it's really a great opportunity for us that was a departure from our old facility back into our new facility. Let's see here. And then as we go through, excuse me, our flagship program right now and has been basketball. In our whole Manatee, Sarasota County area, if anybody says, hey, you want to learn good basketball, you go to Manatee Pal, because they're going to teach you how to play basketball. They're not going to teach you how to be an athlete. They're going to teach you how to play basketball and how it's played as a team. And that's all because of Deputy Ralph Bryant and his close to 30 years of bringing that program through. Our spot showcase team is our 10th grade right now. We don't have an 11th or 12th grade. It's our 10th grade team. And because of them and some of our younger kids, we this year were just welcomed into the Puma session. So in AAU basketball series, you have three main shoe companies, Nike, you have Puma, and you have Under Armour. Reebok's trying to get back in, but between Nike, Under Armour, and Puma, those are the three main circuits. We were just accepted into the Puma circuit this year, and we are, what's our record now? We're 3 losses, Ralph? 4 losses. 4 losses. 4 losses and 20 some odd wins. And June is our off month because high school basketball is playing. We get back in July, and that's our big push. But we have 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. We have 6 grades in AAU basketball, each with at least 10 players and each with at least 2 to 3 coaches. So that's quite a few people. Our budget in AAU each year is over $200,000 a year. And that comes from donations, fundraisers, and pretty much it. Yes, donations and fundraisers. That's all we have. So 10th grade's doing fantastic. There's our 9th grade. We have our 6th grade. And then in-house, some pictures of our in-house. You may even see Mr. Tom in here, I'm not sure. Some of our champions and runners-up. Again, great basketball. There's Mr. Tom. Hey, there he is. Love to have him back. Love you, Tom. And, with that, again, all this happened this past year with the Boys and Girls Club. I want to make sure that we do have a great relationship with them. Let me go in. Outside of this, we now have T-ball, coach pitch, and player pitch, baseball. It's not as big, but we're working on it. We're working on it, trying to get those in. So we got a few pictures here of our kids. And then we have flag football. So we got our flag football came in, and I believe before we started NFL flag, we were playing in other leagues, and we were doing very, very well. And our NFL flag is fantastic. And I think that's, and then last but not least, we also have cheer with that. So we do involve that, but our basketball, you'll see boys and girls in the in-house. And then on the AAU, we haven't been able to field a girls team yet. Locally, to get enough girls involved that will be able to go out and play competitively and do those things, but we're always open to it. But that's all I have to say.
Bruce, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all your stuff right over
Yes,
there,
sir.
isn't it? All right. We, as a club, are going to present you with the Kiwanis Golden Ruler to measure the future success of the PAL program for the last 30 years, but also this new facility that will only help the program along. So,
Thank you.
take your ruler. We'll get a smile on there. All right, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. That's exciting. It all runs on volunteers too, doesn't it? Tom, with you back there, Deputy Bryant, thank you guys, and everybody else that gets involved with the program. Next week, we're going to have a really fun week, an interesting week. Judge Gilbert Smith had helped line it up. Jeff Barbauda with Florida Fish and Game Department is going to tell us a story. He'll be here talking about alligators. Some stories about a sting operation. So it's got some good drama in it. It's good. It's gonna be a fun meeting. So something we'll be able to sink our teeth into, Tom. All right. So I couldn't help it. It was Father's Day. It's a dad joke. I got to throw those things in there. Anyway, we do have a board meeting tomorrow. So those of you and any guests, please come here. We're not going to have pizza tomorrow. We're going to have something different. And let's make it a great afternoon. Thanks for being here today.